Okay, let's take a look at that KD ratio. We are at 2.145. It went up a little bit. I've been doing some casual breakthrough, but I've also been playing escalation, trying to fly helicopters. And this video is basically, I'm going to give an instruction on how to fly helicopters. If you don't know how to or how to set them up, that's what we're going to go over today. And also some flying in a community server with some bots. Because if I were to show you actual gameplay against real people, it would be a very it would go back to that casual versus real video with the taps playing. I can fly. I'm getting better at it. But every time I try to actually get in game, it gets ugly pretty quick. So let's get this thing started. And okay, so first off, we're going to go in and configure mouse and keyboard. This is where you set it up. I assume you guys know where it is. I'm using mouse keyboard because I use a PC. You guys would use your controller, but you want to go under helicopter. There it is. Key bindings, edit, scroll down to movement and aiming. So we're going to go over this area right here. So one of the first things we need to do is understand how a helicopter flies and the controls. Now this is a real helicopter. So you have your tail rotor pedals, which on an airplane, they're rudder pedals. You have the cyclic, which is your stick, right? And then you have the collective. Now on the collective, that controls your up and down. And on your collective, you also have like a motorcycle throttle, which is your throttle for the engine. The cyclic controls your bank and pitch, and your rotor tail rotor pedals or your rudders control your yaw. And we're going to go over this here in a second. So let's take a quick peek. First, we're going to look at the collective. The collective goes up and down. You pull to go up, you push to go down. And if you've ever tried to fly a helicopter in Battlefield, I couldn't understand it because on Battlefield 2, which was the last time I really flew helicopters, the throttle up and throttle down. If you throttled up, it'd fly. It'd take off and fly. And throttle down would descend. But not in Battlefield 6. I couldn't find a collective. The only thing that I found that even works remotely like collective is the Heli Assist Ascend and Heli Assist Descend. Those are your collectives. I'll show you how they work in the gameplay, but use those two settings as your collective. So basically, like I said, when the ascend is to go up, and the descend is to go down, and that's how you go up and down, which was the hardest part to figure out in Battlefield 6 on how to fly a helicopter. Your cyclic or your stick, this works for either forward or back, and that's pitch up or pitch down. Set it up however you're comfortable. I am a flight sim guy. I've always, I'm a pilot. If I push the stick forward, I expect the nose to go down. If I pull it, I expect the tail to go down and the nose to go up. So that's why I have those set up. And then you also have your roll, left and right. Now, to me, that's banking, right? Fixed wing. But same thing, right? The helicopter can't go inverted, at least not in this game. You need, if you're flying RC, you can do it all the time, especially in like a T-Rex remote control helicopter. But your roll left and right controls your bank. And then the next thing we're going to talk about, yeah, there it is, bank left, bank right. And so then we have yaw. The yaw on a plane is your rudder. On a helicopter, it is the tail rotor. Set it, and this is basically spins the helicopter left and right. And there that is. And so if you're just learning, do yourself a favor. Go into the community section, and this is how I set it up. You can either search the experiences, and sometimes there's some good experiences already pre-configured for you. But they're also, and you can get in, and there may not be anybody in it. Or if nothing else, browse and find one that looks interesting. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 tries. But what I do is I host it. I go in and I host it. I don't jump into their servers. I type in a password because I want to fly alone, and I host local. And it'll load up. And like I said, it may take 2 or 3 tries before you find the community server that is configured for helicopters. Now, the reason why I do community, and this is a scene from Clint Eastwood's Firefox. If I fly in real servers, it tends to look like this. And that's me. So, especially when you're learning, go into the community servers and learn to fly here. Now, in this one, I didn't realize that when I went in, there are actual bots. It's like me against 4 or 5 bots. And look, you can actually hear my voice. So right here, when you get in, the engine starts. It's throttling up. And for me, it's walk forward. When I walk forward, it actually throttles up the engine. You pull back on the collective, and you take off, right? And you're off, right? So then I use my mouse to control left and right, for my bank. And I use my sidestep left and sidestep right for yaw.
Great, there's that damn helicopter again.
And now, there's a lot of gameplay. I'm just going to... Look, I've given you the basics to get in and fly. Now, if you switch over to the guns, just know your helicopter is going down. You've got to switch seats pretty quick if you're going to try that trick. But, these damn bots keep shooting at me.
Now, if you want to go down, you got to be real careful.
And this is the other thing. When you hit the down cyclic, this thing drops like a rock. You got to be very careful. You just saw it. I just barely touched the down cyclic, and this thing dropped like a stone. But you need to practice your landings so you don't die like that. I didn't die, but, you got to practice it. And when you backpedal, by the way, when you're flying, if you use the same keys as you use, or your same controls as for running, or when you're playing, first person, when you hit backpedal, when you back up, like in game, right, when you're backing up, the helicopter will actually drop its tail and stop, and then start flying backwards. So use that to slow down your forward momentum, and then use your cyclic to go down. You really need gunners if you're going to be flying. I'm dead serious. Because this is an anti-air weapon. I haven't unlocked the Hellfires that do ground. So all I got are like rockets that are like extremely dumb. And I've yet to be able to figure out how to aim the damn things. Especially if I'm moving with the nose pointed down. They go all over the place. I can't hit shit. So you definitely need a gunner. Get a buddy. Ed, you listening? So right there I jumped to the gunner's seat on this attack bird just to shoot him down. I'm using the anti-air lock-on to help me find these tanks. They really blend in well, and I haven't quite developed the eye to find them yet on the ground. Oop.
Oopsie.
By the way, if you're flying helicopter and you're
Well,
in
at
the
least now we know where the gunships are. Let's go get another one.
by the way, if you're flying the
Never played this map before.
yeah, there you go. I never played the map before. If you're flying a UH-60 and you've got people in it, be courteous. Don't be an asshole and fly it to where you want to go and then jump out and abandon it to the other guys to a fiery death. Like that. Just let them know. Type in chat, whatever, going, hey, I'm gonna bail when I get over before you get very far. Granted, when you're under fire, you really don't have a lot of time when you're flying to be keying shit in. But it really is, everybody hates it when you do that. So, if you're flying a helicopter, man, live or die in that helicopter. Literally. By the way, it's me against 5 bots here. I'm all alone against 5 bots, and, I'm telling you, man, bots are getting pretty good. That's when you're pushing the back pedal, the backup button to slow up, and then you get it back in the zone, and then you press down cyclic and it'll take you down. By the way, if any of you, if you've never flown before, to fly a coordinated turn, you're going to want to sidestep and you're going to bank and yaw at the same time, right? So on me, I'm moving the mouse and I'm to the right, and I'm sidestepping to the right at the same time to do a more coordinated and tight turn. On your controllers, I don't know how you do that, but you want to sidestep and basically look to the right or to the left. Do the same. Sidestep left, look left. Sidestep right, look right. And you can cap in a helicopter. You don't have to land if they'll leave you alone long enough to do it. By the way, I don't show it in this video, but make sure you know where your chaff and flares button is, because when you get locked on, you pop the chaff and flares and they'll break the lock. But unfortunately, it takes a while to recycle, so make sure you're locked on and they're about to fire before you pop them. Otherwise, they could do it just a quick lock, and you pop your flares, and then they'll just lock you right back up and shoot you down. Ask me how I know. I have noticed in live gameplay when you're flying, you really don't get the opportunity to sit still like this. They're gonna, you know, somebody's gonna come along with an RPG and blow your ass out of the sky. So you really got to learn to shoot while you're moving. And again, get a good gunner because you're gonna need them. By the way, if you're flying the UH-60 or if you're flying the utility bird, the people carrier, right, the bus, not the attack bird, but the other one. And just like the IFV, you're a mobile spawn point. If you really want to help the team, get over a cap point and hover maybe high enough outside of RPG range, and be the spawn point. Let people spawn on you and then jump out and parachute down. It's not a bad idea. Go up high enough where you won't get shot. Unfortunately, there's always fast movers, but be a spawn point. Get near a cap point and let people spawn on you, especially your squad. Cap on you or spawn on you and bail out the cap. I know there's a tank coming. There was one by that building. Unfortunately, he knew where I was too.
Seriously need a gunner.
I find that weird that in Battlefield you can actually give up cyclic before your engine is even up to full speed, and it'll still take off. Wouldn't do that in the real world.
Not good. All right, we gotta do something about these assholes.
I was about to load up that truck with C4 and go take them out because I can't do it on a helicopter. So, anyways, that's how to fly. Next video on Friday. Comment section. The SeaBear out.